Nice. Keep it going, Brandon. This is 2 weeks in a row. Oh, that's beautiful. Welcome. Okay. And so many people have tuned out by now. Welcome to CAPECAST. We are back reviewing the 12th chapter of The Mandalorian. And we've got Brandon here. How you doing, Brandon?
Hello. I'm good.
How are you doing, Brandon? There you
Good.
go. Right. And Al? How are you doing, Al?
Oh, I'm fantastic. I'm live
And then
from a bunker.
Yeah, I see that.
Glad you're
The
safe.
Batcave. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like the world's going to garbage, so I'm just going to start eating all my reserve food down in my bunker. This will be good.
You watched a little too much Silence of the Lambs this week, I guess.
Yes.
We've got a special guest here this evening, the child.
Congratulations, Ryan.
Yes.
Thanks, Brandon. I was waiting for you to say that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Are you guys registered anywhere?
This is me and Katie's first.
Oh, well, it looks just like her.
Yeah. I'll let her get back to you on the comments on that one. I hate that Al.
Well, I like to live up to the hatred. So,
Yeah. So I guess to start out like we usually do, let's go kind of around the horn and give general thoughts, whether you like the episode, didn't like it. And I think Brandon went first last week, so let's go with Al.
this episode was better. Didn't have that. Well, kind of had her in it, but she wasn't in it to where she ruined it for me. So, felt like the episode had better flow, and the child stuff was pretty. I mean, it's always funny, but it was even funnier this week for me. So, yeah, you were funny this week, guy. So,
Anything you want to say, child?
I have it do the little like hover off the screen.
Good.
Brandon, I'm nervous. Like this is getting creepy really quick. Think you've
Ryan,
been
be
watching
afraid,
a little
Al.
too much. Think you've
Don't
been watching
be
a little too
afraid.
much. Does it put the lotion in the basket? Like, calm down with that thing. So
Don't you hurt my child.
hang on, Ryan. I want to ask you one thing. I want to ask you one thing about your newest addition to the family. How long ago did
Please go ahead.
How long ago did you order that?
I ordered it about a year ago.
And
It's called a pre-order, Al. All right.
well, no,
Jeez.
I think you pre-ordered because a year and change. So
You
How-
obviously don't
like-
collect.
what's the height? What's the dimensions of
It's
that?
life size,
Oh, it's life size, baby.
I don't know what that
So
means.
we're probably
I don't-
talking. If I'm looking at it, I guess like 16, 18 inches tall.
Okay. All right,
Yeah.
and who makes that?
I was like, it's a sideshow piece. It was funny because I got it, and we have 2 dogs here,
Okay.
so I got to figure out where I can put it where the dogs aren't going to try and like grab it and tear it apart.
I
was
think
like,
you
I
should
can get one of those. I can get one of those glass. Those like in Beauty and the Beast, they have those glass thing. The thing they stick over the rose.
Oh yeah,
It's like I can get one of those, but the ears are too wide.
just looks like you're suffocating your child.
Cut little like slits out of it so the ears can stick out.
Yeah.
I think you should put it at random places, like make it your elf on the shelf. Yeah, like child
Yeah.
on. So it's like have it peeking out of the closet.
Brandon, you want to borrow it for the for the holiday season?
Yes, let me borrow it. Indefinitely.
I don't trust you.
Yeah, Brandon's daughter Luna does some crazy things to dolls. She has this one doll which please put a picture of that up on social media. That is the creepiest doll.
I don't think I can. I think it'll get flagged.
It's like purple crayon all over it. Like it looks like the last scene of Toy Story, like that scene in Toy Story where the neighbor has all the crazy toys. That one particular doll is creepy.
Sid.
Ads for that video will never get approved. Shocking events.
I mean, she wasn't trying to make it creepy. She just was like being artistic, and it just turned out creepy. So
Yeah.
Right on. All right, Brandon, what did you think about this episode?
I like this episode. It was good. I think it was probably up there as far as competing with the last episode as, you know, some of the better episodes of the season. Yeah. And what is this, like is this the 4th episode this season?
Yes.
So yeah, I'd say it. I mean, I thought it was good. I mean, I liked that this one actually moved some story along in terms of the Moff Gideon stuff. So it was cool to see them actually, you know, start threading the needle with some of that stuff. Yeah, sure. I thought the action was good, just across the board. A lot of cool Star Wars action. And yeah, Carl Weathers' first directed episode. First thing I've seen him direct, so he did a good job.
Cool. Yeah, this was my favorite one of the season so far, and mainly because of the action sequences, like the fights, like dog fights, with the TIE fighters was awesome.
Yeah.
Enjoyed the chase of the that little Imperial speeder that they had with TIE fighters. Thought that was cool. And I'm a sucker for I love Return of the Jedi, so I'm a sucker for the speeder bikes.
It's good to see, you know, scout troopers again. Yeah, it's not something. Yeah, I guess we saw scout troopers last season at the end, right?
Yeah.
But
yeah. No, I agree with you. I think Carl Weathers did a great job, and
I love that. Somebody was like, I saw him on Twitter. People were like posting images of that, like big action sequences, the chase sequence that you're talking about, and he like basically gave all the credit to the production team because, I mean, I'm sure he had approval over how it ended up looking, but that was all, you know, out of camera, like VFX stuff. Right. So he like gave credit where it was due instead of just taking it as for himself. So that was good to see.
Right. It was funny. There was a picture that went up after the episode went live. Apparently, you know, like the Game of Thrones coffee cup.
Oh yeah, the jeans guy.
There's a guy in the background. They're in the middle of their like firefight in the base. There's a guy in the background with jeans on and a short sleeve t-shirt.
Whoops.
He's got like an Apple Watch on.
Jedi jorts.
He totally, like when I saw it, I was like, that looks like Jeff. Jeff's probably working on the episode.
Nice. Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I thought it was fun, and I liked how, you know, they did the whole, you know, gotta have a mission kind of thing. But
hey, guess what, guys?
Worked into the
Razor Crest needs called? Repairs again.
I know.
But Brandon, what's that type of story called?
Yeah.
Procedural.
Oh my God.
I wrote it on the ceiling.
He's gonna be like Memento, get that tattooed on his body. It's gonna
yeah.
Just definitely put it on that Millennium Falcon on your arm. Just
I almost wrote in the show notes procedural. I was like, no, I can remember it.
It's like a sticky note on the side of your computer. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Luna.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely had that again, but you know, I mean, that's as to be expected at this point.
But it all, like, what I liked about this one, the reason it was different for me was just because the mission like had to do with the longer form story that they're trying to tell. So it didn't feel like it was like this
wasted
Yeah, like
unconnected thing. Yeah, I agree.
like
I agree
the
with
spider thing, whatever.
Can we talk about so in the beginning, the child's holding the blue wire, red wire, and just trying to help out. So I don't know why, but that reminded me of when I used to hold the flashlight for my grandfather while he was repairing the car. And he would always say, I said, hold the flashlight, not shake the flashlight. And it just reminded me of that. And I started giggling so hard because I thought back on my grandfather. And my grandfather was like one of the greatest human beings ever. But, you're 7 holding a flashlight heavier than your head. And, so, and then when the child kind of put the wires together and smoke comes out, it was really good comedy timing and things like that. So I thought that was good.
Yeah.
But I like that they're kind of getting a little quirky and just kind of campy with it. I like it.
Yeah,
more.
They're definitely leaning into the Baby Yoda side of things.
Well, I mean,
as
you should. Yeah, I mean,
yeah.
That scene. I'm sure that I'm not the only one to make this connection, but it had like Groot vibes from Guardians of the Galaxy 2 with the bomb when like Rocket's like trying to get him, like tell him what to do to press the buttons,
right?
And he's confused, and
yeah. But I thought this was also the first episode since last season where we saw Cardoon and Grief Karga. Is that his name?
Yeah.
And I like both those characters. I wasn't a huge fan of Cardoon initially last season. I liked the episode that she showed up in, but I wasn't a huge fan of the character. Mm-hmm. I feel like I just feel like her acting is better in this episode than I remember it being really hard her being a hard one to watch.
She's not a very strong actress.
I feel like she's kind of, in this episode at least, she kind of came into her own a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. I've always had a problem, I still do, with her acting capabilities. I mean, she's more of a physical presence than anything, but
sure.
I mean, she's
I'm not saying
she's an MMA fighter turned actress.
Yeah.
So what do you expect?
Hey, so is The Rock.
They can't all be Ronda Rousey.
Well, let's be honest. The Rock was pretty terrible when he started acting. Have you ever seen that 70s show when he played his dad? It was pretty rough. And he played his dad. It was pretty rough. So
yeah. Well,
I didn't
Rock's not winning any acting awards either, but he has gotten better for sure.
Yeah. I mean,
but he also came from WWE, which is
acting. His acting is just based like entirely on his charisma. That's what carries him.
Yeah. He's just The Rock and everything.
Yeah, I agree with you. It was good to see those characters again and kind of catch up with where they were. Does anybody know how much time has passed since season 1? As far as, because it seemed like they just kind of turned that town around pretty quick.
Yeah, not just the town, the entire planet apparently.
Right, yeah.
I was like, is this planet tiny?
Yeah. Maybe they had that group from Parks and Rec, Kaboom or whatever it's called.
Oh yeah,
that Kaboom.
They had one of those moments too, like in the last episode where the little Squidward looking guy says that he can help him find the Mandalorian, and he like does that maniacal little chuckle, and like you wonder what's going on. They kind of had the same thing with this one where it's like, can you fix the ship? And then it like shows just like a shot of that one.
He like turns around. Yeah. Well, so here's a thing that I always, not always, but we talked about like some of the set pieces feeling lived in and some of them not feeling lived in, and more like whenever Grief Karga's like, I'll get my best men on it, and he turns and he's got like 2 guys sitting there in the middle of like nowhere. They got like 3 pieces of metal that they're like banging on, like couldn't like put a scrap yard or like something like to make it feel like they actually,
these are the best guys.
Like it's just
my
like
only guys.
That kind of stuff just makes it feel cheap to me.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
I will say I did notice the in the town they had that little like statue of IG-11 in the background. I thought that was kind of cool, like memorial thing.
I didn't notice that as I was watching, but I did see people posting that on Twitter. So,
Gotcha.
Yeah, pretty cool.
The blue character that they brought back, the fish guy from season
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
So he was the equivalent of the frog character in last season for me. He was in it very little, but I didn't
Just
care
the first
for him.
episode.
Yeah, I didn't care for him at all. And so, like, whenever the opening scene and I saw that, I was like, oh, no. Last season, I was like, that's what this is. I thought it was going to be Star Trek. And I don't like Star Trek at all. I just can't tolerate it. But so whenever I saw him come back, I had kind of like the same feeling. I was like, oh, no. And I thought, it's the beginning of the episode. First off, they had 2 recaps at the beginning of this episode, and I was like, okay. But then they open up with him, and I was like, oh no, he's in it, and the girl, Katie Sackhoff's going to be in this too. I just figured she would be in it since last week.
I was like, I quit.
Yeah, I was almost like, hey guys, maybe I won't come by CAPECAST this week, but I watched it and I enjoyed it. So he
I thought it was
salvageable.
I thought it was funny that character, whenever Mando walks in, he like goes like almost like some sort of like
Yeah.
I don't know if it's some sort of like
almost like a
fear
skunk type thing.
yeah, some like
Like a praying man. Like I'm not a praying man.
Oh God.
Fear pheromones, guys.
Ooh.
Uh
Trademarked.
that actor is Horatio Sands, actually, apparently.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Oh, that's why I don't like it.
Oh, okay. There you go.
I will say also
bad
one thing I
SNL
noticed in this episode was this was like an all-timer for stormtroopers being terrible at aiming.
Mm-hmm.
Like
Well, even the Mando and his crew were bad at aiming when they were trying to knock those 2 guys off at that little control center where they were trying to destroy that little computer or whatever, and they were shooting over there. It was like 4 people, pew, 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 and they
you can do it.
They couldn't hit them, and then Mando just comes out, and I was like, boop, boop. What is wrong with people? But that scene right there reminded me of Rogue One, where K2 like dies.
Yeah.
And yeah, so that reminded me of that. Not that they were trying to remind me of that. I'm just saying it did remind me of that. But the little creature that was in when they say, "Oh, this is a lab," instead of a, that reminded me of The Shape of Water, for whatever reason. And then Shape of Water was stuck in my head, and then I looked at the blue guy, and I was like, "That's like Shape of Water if Shape of Water guy was just fat." So it just kept growing in my head. So
that scene, I like the whole like sci-fi element to that scene, and I got like Snoke vibes from those like clone tanks or Bacta tanks or whatever they were. I assume.
I was gonna ask next.
Well, I don't know what you guys think as far as like what that implies, but I wonder if those beings are whoever is going to be in those like dark troopers or whatever they're making.
Yeah.
That Moff Gideon has.
So I know that I haven't read the books specifically where they address this, but I know that dark troopers are they're like force sensitive stormtroopers. So
okay, well then that would make sense.
Yeah,
they're injecting
but at the
like
same time,
midichlorians into them or whatever they're doing.
The Snoke thing, that was the first thing I went to too, because also the music reminded me of his throne room when Kylo walks in there in Force Awakens.
Yeah, I don't remember that stuff that much.
So I think the way they kind of framed it with the Dark Trooper armor or whatever, that's probably the direction they're going. But the music thing kind of, this is like the Supergirl thing, Brandon. I'm like, I don't know.
We'll see. No, I mean as far as the Snoke stuff, I mean this could
I was like, I don't know what you're talking about.
We could be seeing the like early rise of the First Order,
It would make sense. Yeah.
I
mean, the thing I saw online too, there's a guy who put up a couple shots of from Rise of Skywalker, the tanks and stuff that Palpatine had down in
Right.
and like the figure looks pretty similar to it.
And then they had as far as member berries go, they had the C3 unit as the teacher.
Mm-hmm.
So, which I like the classroom scene just fine whenever
That's
they
cool.
put.
Did y'all see the little girl that had the Ray hairstyle?
Yeah.
Didn't
They kinda-
know.
Yeah, I was
kinda
like, okay.
I was like, I hope that they're not trying to be like,
Don't
look,
do it.
it's Ray. She's a little girl.
That's exactly what I thought. I said, oh my God, this is terrible.
I think it was made pretty clear in Force Awakens that she was stranded on
And then they had that little girl next to her.
Jakku.
And they had that little girl next to her who I don't know if she ended up being Lando's daughter at the end of
No, she wasn't.
Rise or what. Anyway, everybody speculated, but I didn't know if that little girl was supposed to represent that woman or what. She had curly hair and such. So, but yeah, I saw the Ray haircut or the Ray hairdo, loud and
scene-
clear.
Katie was like, I don't know who they have to like sit down and brainstorm like every episode. We need like 3 Baby Yoda cute moments. Like
Yeah.
the macaroon thing, Katie lost it.
I love the little noise that he makes right at the end of that scene. There's like some little like noise that he makes as he's eating the macaroons that they just like, and then they cut to the next scene. It's like, man, you guys just dial up the cuteness.
I know I say it every week, but seriously, this show just makes me want to watch Gremlins a whole lot because Gizmo made.
Did you
all
buy
those,
it today?
I already own it. I just want to get that version of it. So
So did you buy it?
no, I put it on my Christmas list because everybody keeps saying we don't have anything for you. So I'm like, here you go, and then they're like, I don't want to buy that. I'm like, well then why should I give you anything? So yeah. Weirdo. No, but yeah, I constantly and it's Christmas coming up, so I'll work Gremlins into my Christmas watching list. So I'm pretty excited. So it's kind of gearing me up because I used to have the Gizmo little doll and everything when I was a kid, and I'd go around making those little noises like Gizmo, trying to play, stuff like that. So I thought it was cool. So
What did you guys?
throws it out there. Anyway, go ahead.
What I was gonna say, what did you guys think about the? I kind of mentioned at the beginning the star fighting though, like with Mando and the TIE fighters. I thought it was. I
definitely
thought that was. Good.
Yeah, it gave me like definitely like him like coming in and saving the day was like Han Solo, like New Hope type vibes. But yeah, I thought it was cool. I like the that shot of him like doing the like barrel roll, like coming in was really cool. And yeah, I mean all that action stuff was great.
Very rare in this show do I get that like it's like a super cheesy like but at the same time awesome like this is Star Wars vibe just because the show's so different from anything Star Wars has done. But that was one of those where I was like, yeah, this is awesome.
I thought, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of cool little sequences. I love the scout troopers when they were like going down the mountain, like jumping off the mountain,
that,
like kind of like navigating
the rock and stuff.
It was just really cool.
Cool.
Just how they kind of executed that was cool in execution. This whole like, I know that neither of you play video games, but Jedi Fallen Order came out. Was it last year?
What's that, Brandon?
It's a video game. But there's a planet on there called Zepho that this people that have played the game will recognize. Like this has that level
flagged.
Had lots of
like the burned ash type thing.
Just the way just this. It's hard. Like it's like an old like. It's basically an Imperial fortress plant type location that there's a bunch of I won't say what goes on there, but like just the way it was dressed Just the way the whole like it was like designed, like reminded me so much of this same little like base.
Yeah.
Especially like the like outdoorsy, like I don't know, like not landing pads, but like whatever. Like whenever they get the actual like Imperial like cargo.
Yeah,
like that area.
The docks. Yeah.
Yeah, dock. I guess
station,
the dock is right. That's the word.
Brandon, I bought a video game.
Procedural.
Oh yeah, for you?
I bought one for myself and my nephew. Yes.
You bought
Was
one
it-
of what?
Was it Call of Duty?
MLB The Show 20.
Nice.
You and Ryan can play sports games together.
It was $10 at Best
Show-
Buy.
The show's great. Is it really?
Yeah, you should get it.
Oh, I'm buying that.
Yeah. We all
You said
bought
20,
video
right?
games.
20 would be the old version.
Hey, we all bought video games.
Yay!
Well,
Reviewing
anybody
MLB The Show next
Controller
episode.
We're all
that's a Star Wars
gamers.
fan should play Jedi Fallen Order. It's great.
I'm a gamer now. Are you a
Just gonna
gamer,
throw that out
Ryan?
there.
I'm sorry, Brandon, but I've got to play MLB The Show 20
yeah.
first.
We're gamers now, bro. Gamers. I need
Can't
to
get
me
Ryan to
some-
play the Arkham
Red Bull.
games or Jedi Fallen Order. What a shame.
It's true. It's true. You didn't get enough comments on that CAPECAST episode.
Yeah. You guys let me down. It's all right.
Yeah. So I think unless you guys have anything else you want to touch on, I think that about wraps it up.
Yeah, I don't have much. I mean, I'm excited about the next episode. Seems like we might finally get to see some Ahsoka. And,
Yep.
see
It's rumored to be titled The Jedi. So,
do you think
No.
that we're going to see Obi-Wan in this season?
Yes.
I've never, that's never crossed my mind. That would
It
be
I
hadn't-
awesome.
think just
it hadn't
because
until this week.
I think just because they're going to try to push, like, kind of how sitcoms used to do that crossover thing.
Sure, I can.
you know?
Yeah, I can see. Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Yeah.
I just had never. I don't know why. I've just never always kind of viewed
Marketing.
the Star Wars stuff.
Marketing.
As,
I was just thinking of who
Or
would be
series.
alive and really, Obi-Wan would
Yeah.
be.
I don't know. I mean, I think they'll
Right?
at least
No,
hint at it.
Obi-Wan would be dead. Obi-Wan would be dead. This takes place after Return of the Jedi.
Force
so
Ghost.
wow.
um,
Yeah, definitely not.
so I
Definitely not.
guess Luke would be the only one that could.
Well, they'll have Force Ghost. I mean, they'll
Right.
probably do something like that, right?
I guess it's possible, but I don't see. Him
I
doing
doubt
that.
it.
I don't because it would be the Alec Guinness version. That would be.
They're gonna retcon.
I don't know why
everything.
your comment just transported my whole thought process of where the show was occurring in the timeline to before the the original.
I always have to
trilogy.
remind myself because, as I was talking about, Jedi Fallen Order takes place, and it's before the original trilogy. This takes place after. It's like trying to navigate when stuff takes place. It's hard to remember.
Yeah, I can't think. No good.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it'd be interesting what if the Jedi is a mystery? Like they're looking for Ahsoka, and then they have some CGI Mark Hamill, Luke Skywalker.
They could do that. I hope they do not do that.
Yeah.
I
I
do
wouldn't
not
put
wanna
it past
see-
them though.
I just don't want this to overlap with that directly with anything Skywalker.
Yeah,
I agree. I
it's
don't want it to
gonna.
either.
They're gonna. Fast forward a couple seasons, it probably will because they'll start losing interest. People will start kind of waning, and then that's when they start jumping the shark. We gotta. So when executives start getting too involved, so it happens
We'll
most
see.
shows.
Doomed.
Executives suck.
We'll see.
All right, gents.
Thanks for having me on. I'm
anything-
thankful for CapeCast. Happy Thanksgiving.
Al, you're drunk. Go home.
Never had a drink of alcohol in my life. I'm just happy.
Yeah. They call it
He's high on
alcohol
life.
for a reason.
Yeah,
All right.
doesn't have anything to say.
Good job, guys.
All right, guys.
Where can they find us?
Yeah, we love chatting with you guys about all things geek.
Speaking of, if you are into all things geek, go check out that latest Snyder update.
Hit me up about your gamer needs, because I'm a gamer now. So I'll give you all the inside
Al's gonna be getting a Twitch channel here in the next couple of weeks.
Yep.
So
Keep
an eye out for that.
Yeah, it's gonna be called Slow Brew. It's gonna be awesome. I'm a gamer, yo.
Anyways, you can find us at CAPECAST Show on Twitter, and then if you love watching movies, I invite you to come check out our regular CiNEMACHiNE show. And you can find that on YouTube also, and at CiNEMACHiNE Pod on Instagram. Until next week, guys, we'll review Chapter 13, The Jedi.
Oh
Maybe.
My gosh.
Maybe.
Everybody have a
see you
happy
next week.
Thanksgiving. Bye.
Goodbye.
Thanks for having me, guys. It was really great. I enjoyed it.
Good. Glad you did.